Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy Wednesday to you and your family. We're taking a look here at XRP, seeing what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the potential for downside, but also, obviously, depending on the time frame you're looking at, there is potential also for upside as well. So we'll take a look at that and much more. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. Really just love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. If you do want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below, and you can become a better trader effectively. We've got Trading Academy, Community, and Signals, where I share all my trades with you. There's also some day trades where you can follow as well. This is on my public channel here through BingX. If you use my link to register, I'd recommend doing so. You can go ahead and follow us here. Of course, we got 40 copy traders. Made a decent amount of income for them as well so far. So good job, everyone. Congrats on those gains. And what we want to look at here, of course, with XRP would be a few things I think that are important, right? Because when it comes to trading this coin, we are coming up to a specific key level resistance, right? 82 cents. I get the question, hey, should I short it here or should I go long? Because it could break out. A lot of good momentum, but there's also a point of resistance, okay? So just keep in mind, both things could happen. We're going to look at some trends and also kind of identify what might be more viable, okay? So please, please, please ensure you stick around through to the end here. Do yourself a favor because there's no real, it's not a one-size-fits-all, right? Because trading is dynamic, always changing. Literally, by the time you watch this video, it could very well be a completely different circumstance. And that's just the way that it goes, all right? The key is to use your own risk tolerance and develop that and become a better trader by working and growing with other traders. That's what we offer in our community. So be sure, again, to check that out. With XRP, though, what we want to talk about, let's just work our way down here from the daily, okay? So we obviously know there was a pretty massive overextension here the very first day that the SEC kind of allowed it to work out positively, right? So there's really some positive momentum there. Price comes up, comes back down to test this halfway point originally from its starting point, and then continues on its merry way. That being said, with all the moving averages, they're kind of taking their time to kind of average out. You look at the EMAs, of course, they're moving a little faster, but they're still taking their time to get to the current price point. Okay? So the bottom line here is that we can't trust those moving averages just yet. They're going to be at support levels initially for in the future, but not right now. What we can trust, though, is that there is some overextension here on the RSI, and we're still above 70. That's commonly a positive sign in a lot of cases. So keep in mind, being above 70 at this point, while it's still overextended, the price could continue to run. So I'd be cautious and careful, taking a long position right now, but also taking a short too, because it really, really could just take off. So just be mindful that XRP is in a very strong, precarious point. And if we can break above and close above that specific level, the 82, 83 cent mark, I think we'll be in good shape. But we see a lot of money flowing into this coin too. So as the money flows in, the price will continue to do well. Okay, and if you take a look at the volume hasn't really subsided that much either. With increased volume comes increased buying pressure, and the price goes up with it. Okay. Again, so the daily looks pretty darn strong. What we want to look at, though, obviously, to identify shifts in momentum is the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Those are my two favorite time frames outside of the daily to kind of identify, what could happen next. Oh, and to touch on this here too on the daily, there's a massive fair value gap all the way down to 47 cents. So shorting in the near future wouldn't be the worst thing ever, especially if Bitcoin were to drop like we're kind of expecting it to. I think that we're in a position right now where things could work out favorably there for XRP. So just be careful and cautious in how you work it. But bottom line is XRP is looking pretty strong, and it's something that you just kind of be mindful of that. We do have some fair value gaps. There's still a small fair value gap here on the smaller time frame too, down to about 65 cents. So if one were to short and consider shorting, a profit target in that range would be appropriate. But again, you don't really just you want to try to buy those dips more so than short to them. It sounds crazy, but you want to be very careful doing so. Okay, again, try not to bet against the biggest a big coin in the market, right? XRP's got some good momentum. Okay, enough about that. Let's go and stick with the TA. On the 4 hour, we can see that we got a MACD convergence here in the last 8 hours. It's a positive sign that pretty much tells us that we broke this little potential rejection point here at about 0.5, which is 80 cents, pretty much even. Keep in mind, 0.5 on Fibonacci is a very, very common retracement level. Okay, so if you can kind of see this in the charts here, that's the halfway point. You saw the price initially reject out here at 0.382, retested, broke through it, came up to retest again, and now it's jumping as well. Okay, so it's doing perfect. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do as a coin will progress. If you take a look at TD sequential, we can see we hit this overextended state. We're still somewhat in overtime. It doesn't mean it's just going to pull back because of that. It does tell us, though, that there wasn't enough time to consolidate and that a pullback is more likely at this point. So I would just recommend kind of waiting a little bit longer, but you can kind of see here if you are considering a long position, there is some interesting stuff here. So let's clear the charts here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as resistance levels. Let's go ahead and pull this guy over here. You can see that's retested once, twice here so far. So this is a kind of an ugly cup and handle, but nonetheless, it is retesting that level multiple times. So the potential for breaking through here is higher because of its continued retest of a previous resistance level. Okay. So again, all the more reason to wait for the price to either break out before you short or to consider a long after the price retests and holds above that level. I think we're still a little premature here on taking a trade, but I really think we should pay attention to this coin and kind of see what happens next. It is overextended on pretty much all time frames, 4 hour as well. You can see RSI is well over 70 again. Money flow index is high, so it's keeping the price point where it's at. But if we take a look at stochastic, we can see it's converged once more. So until it diverges, I think it's best to kind of hang tight and wait for the next big move here. Okay. So again, if you're the gambling type, you want to get in before it takes off, and I guess go ahead. But I don't think it's going to just explode. If it does, that would mean that we had a lot of shorts leveraged at this point, and that there would be the longs or the shorts leveraging their shorts with longs, right? They hedge their shorts. So what I'm getting at is we could see a short squeeze that could push the price action up. That's a very common characteristic for these retests of these zones. But ideally, the price breaks up, goes kind of slightly parabolic, and then we consider shorting from there. I know it's hard to watch. You can't sit here all day and do that. I get it. But generally speaking, we're in a position right now where we got to wait for confirmation either above or below this level. If it gets rejected here and comes back down, then there's a decent chance we'll start seeing it go down. But once again, we're seeing higher highs and higher lows pretty consistently here. You don't want to bet against that, okay? So be very, very careful shorting right now. I think waiting would be best if you're going to consider a short. As far as TD sequential, we can see here, we've hit some overextended states, right? Came up to a 6, got a reset, came up to a 9, finally got a reset, and we're up to another 8 here. So hypothetically, you can say it's fairly overextended. We've seen 2 9s in a row almost. So if the price comes up here, I think to 82 cents, that'd be a decent shorting opportunity. But the bottom line here is that we're overextended, but it has good momentum and a lot of volume to back it up. Okay, so if there wasn't volume, I'd be concerned. But since there is, all the more reason to not take a trade just yet. Okay, so again, please be patient here. Take a look at the 15. We're swinging up here on stochastics. Typically, I like to wait for the second shift there, the second divergence, so to speak, before we take a short. Again, it doesn't always turn around because of that, but statistically, you're more likely to see the price come back down when we have a pretty large overextension, which we are kind of seeing right now. So, boy, I hate situations like this where it's like pretty much right on the edge of disaster or greatness. You got to recognize, though, big picture, this coin is massively overextended. Even though there's a lot of good fundamentals, there is still a probability it's going to come down because of the fact that it's been up for so long. Again, a lot of different strokes for different folks. So to me, I'm just going to wait for confirmation either above or below this here today. If the daily closure cannot close above that level, I think it'd be a decent shorting opportunity. If we do get a solid closure, just say 82 cents or higher, then a long would seem more viable. But again, if I were you, I would just be dollar cost averaging. If that's kind of a goal for you. As far as swing trading or day trading right now, this coin it's very difficult to anticipate what's going to happen next. So I'm just being honest with you. Sometimes it's best to steer clear of something like this unless you're fully experienced. And even in my experience, I prefer to kind of take the safer route. And right now, this is still kind of an unsafe coin. I would love to short, but I don't think we have any confirmation just yet. We're on the verge, though. Hypothetically, later tonight or tomorrow morning, we'll know more. Okay. So again, stay patient, stay cool, and don't try not to emotionally trade. Okay, that's the important thing. But XRP is looking strong, so I still feel like we're going to probably see the $1 mark hit first before we are to see the price pull back again. I think this next overextension would be a good place to short, though, if you were to. All right, thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something here today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again. We'll see you next one.